It's the weekend and it's time to make my meal prep for next school week. So I'm gonna make the chicken salad with grapes this week to have for lunch at work. This is 2 pounds of chicken breast, completely frozen. So I'm putting it in there with 1 cup of water. And so I am going to pressure cook this on the pressure cook setting for 16 minutes. In order to clean my grapes and my celery for my chicken salad recipe, I'm simply going to wash the grapes in some water and a little bit of white vinegar. And they'll go on the paper towel to dry. Easiest thing ever to clean vegetables and fruit. To use the salad spinner. This is the Cuisinart one. I love it. I use it all the time. This recipe only calls for a 1/2 cup of the red seedless grapes chopped up. So I've bagged up the rest of my grapes and I just put them in open little baggies for the fridge so I can grab them and go this week for work. A few weeks ago when I was making my chicken salad, I had all this leftover celery and I did a horrible job at eating it. Even though I had bought my favorite hummus, I never got it out of the fridge, celery went bad. So this week for my meal prep, since I'm gonna have a lot of celery left over, I'm gonna go ahead and take 28 grams of this Sabra roasted red pepper hummus, and I'm going to throw it here in one of my little meal prep containers. It's 2 points on the green plan for 2 tablespoons or 28 grams. So I'm gonna simply get this ready and then put it in a bag for work with some of my celery. And then I also have carrots left over because I just didn't make it easy to grab and go. So I hate when I lose produce because I just don't eat it all. So I'm going to do that differently this week. I think my chicken is completed now. I actually had taken it out and I had checked it after 18 minutes and I felt like it needed just a little bit longer in the Instapot. I noticed that my chicken breasts were actually stuck together, so I pulled those out and now you can see they're totally finished. I put them back in for 3 minutes, and I wouldn't have had to do that except that these two huge chicken breasts were stuck together as they were frozen, and I just put them in here frozen. And so actually when I checked them after 18 minutes, they were of course not stuck together anymore and pretty much all the way cooked, but I could tell that there was some pink a little bit in my chicken, so I really wanted to make sure and get that done. So I actually, that's the great thing about an Instapot, I stuck it back in there and brought it back up to pressure for just 3 minutes, and that was totally enough. So these are huge chicken breasts for this recipe. I'm going to be cutting these up, dicing this chicken breast, but I only need 2.5 cups of chicken breast for the amount of chicken salad that I'm going to be making. For my grapes, these are pretty small ones today, so I'm just gonna kind of quarter these up. When I made this last time, I used some huge red grapes, and I really cut those up too, but these little pieces of grape in here are really give this chicken salad some sweetness. There is a teaspoon of honey in it as well, so I know that that actually gives it a lot of sweetness as well, but these red grapes, they're really tasty right now. So I'm just gonna chop these up, small pieces, for my chicken salad. This recipe calls for 1/4 cup toasted sliced almonds. Last time I made it, I just bought this small package, and I've actually had this in the freezer for the last couple weeks because I didn't know how fast I would use these sliced almonds, and I know that nuts can go rancid in your cabinet pretty quickly. So I simply froze them. So if they're straight out of the freezer, I'm gonna take 1/4 cup and I'm gonna toast them right there in on my skillet. I have my heat on medium high right now. And you can tell when they're toasted because they'll be really fragrant and they'll get a little browned. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them started and then show you what they look like when I'm finished. You just need to move them around most of the time because you don't want them to burn. Okay, that's how I like them, just like that. They're kind of toasty, and now I'm gonna actually get them off of this heat and let them totally cool off before I put them in my chicken salad. I'm gonna make sure that when I put my chicken salad together, everything is cooled off, including my chicken, before I put my rest of my ingredients in there. It's time to make the wet ingredients to go into the chicken salad, and it calls for chopped dried onion, celery salt. I'm going to be using red wine vinegar. The original recipe calls for apple cider vinegar. I don't have any, and last time I used red wine vinegar and it was delicious. Light mayo, non-fat Greek yogurt, and then some honey. Next steps coming up.